Hi, chat. How are you? How you doing? How you hanging? How's your day? Let me turn this down a little further. That should be good. Let me know if it's like too quiet or anything. Day was good. I'm glad. I am having a chill day. You're fine, Mooks. You're absolutely fine. You are not required to come by my streams. It is okay. You take care of you first, and that's what matters. You know? So I realized I kept making the mistake of telling everybody that I was doing Stardew today. When Stardew is Monday, and not today. Evie also says hi. Stardew is Monday and not today. And I just had like a brain fart, and I don't know why. It's fine. Anyways, yes, baby girl. I'm glad that you're having fun rubbing up against my mic a whole bunch. Yes. Yes. Hi, Winston. Thank you for gifting that tier 1 sub to Tria. Yeah, she's mewing. She really, really wants attention and everything right now, and it's just, yeah. She's just being a brat. But she's my brat. Let's see if my camera's working for her. Yep, there she is. There she is. Oh, well. Can you not knock everything off my fucking computer? Thanks. There you go. Okay. We'll go get her some treats. Stay there, Chad. Get up here, want these. Go. So bad, was it? To have to run up here? Yeah, she absolutely hears. She knows. Listen, it's fine. It's fine. We're just here to feed cats, honestly, at this point. That's all we do. Oh, hold on. You have one. There you go. Perfect. Hey, Luca. Yeah, we had to redeem a feed her. We're not quite doing Doodle Fort just yet because someone is being a huge brat. And someone's lost a lot of weight. He's actually down like 4 pounds, which is nice. Anyway, back to this. So, if you haven't been here before, this is Doodle Fort. Doodle Fort is a monthly / bi-monthly / whenever we can manage it critique hour. Well, not critique hour, that's literally someone else's thing. It is more than just an hour. Hmm. Oh. Sid has been on not dietary food, but like urinary tract food? Kidney stones one time? Urinary problems? Yeah. He peed blood in a box. Pee problems? Okay. And it's pretty much been like pretty stable since then. So there's that. But he used to be like 16, 17 pounds, and now he weighs like 11, 12. So doing pretty good. You could finally see like the shape in his hips. Anyway, so anyway, Doodle Fort is a monthly / bi-monthly / whatever we can manage it critique thing. And basically we have a theme and y'all draw whatever you want for that theme at the time, as long as it fits, you know, what we're asking for. And then if it's actually a Doodle Fort prompt, we go over it in this stream and I don't know why my ex-boss is asking me what my opinion of a place to eat after a wedding is when we went to a barbecue joint for hours. Okay, sorry. And then normal Doodle Fort, which is right here, is our Discord Doodle Fort, where you can ask for critiques at any given time. And also get added whenever I am streaming or when Doodle Fort is happening. So, it has been a heck of a year. And you're fine, Mimic. It has been a heck of a year. And I guess my first question is, what is something you guys remember from Doodle Fort this year? Something you may have learned. I'm curious what sticks with you. I mean, yeah, there's also a not safe for work Doodle Fort, but it's fine. Hey, Biz. How are you? No, that's fair. Perspective doesn't have to be perfect. Yep. It should try to be somewhat accurate, but it doesn't have to be perfect, no. Not being perfect in perspective gives things a lot more character. Nice. Biz, did you see that I may have gotten Eric to draw my baby, to model my baby girl? Finally, I snapped and I did it. And I asked Eric. Yeah, I'm gonna have my baby girl. I'm so excited. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. It's fine. I don't understand how to learn more efficiently. Well, I'm glad. That is at least something. Okay. So, I believe this month's... It's been a while since we've hung out and talked. yeah, we basically hung out for a whole freaking month because we ended on the 21st of November. And I pretty much was like, make whatever you want Christmassy, holiday theme, doesn't care, doesn't matter. Let's do something and then have a good time at the holidays. So here we are. So, that's the case. We are going to look at few pieces. We're only, I think, 3 submissions, but that's fine. Like, I'm okay with that. It just means I can give a more in-depth sort of thing for each piece. So, yeah, we haven't been going that long. I don't know why I'm so out of breath today. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It was the Hollow Knight one. You input body language, posture, costume choices. Yeah, that's also a really good one because costume and body language can tell so much more about a character than you think it does. No, it's just that I haven't been able to be active whatsoever like this year, and it's like finally catching up with me. Really fucking frustrating. But completely unrelated. This week, if I remember, and babe, if you would remind me, I'm gonna call my PhD doctor and ask them if I'm eligible for COVID vaccine. Because I'm technically in the at-risk stage, and I want to see if I can get that done. So, yeah. So if I, like, am breathing heavily or anything today, or if I'm, taking long pauses, just bear with me. Would you remind me this week to call Dr. Häuslein and ask to see if I can't get my vaccine? Thank you. Okay, so a couple things. While I understand a polar bear and a snowball, I would actually say I don't know how Christmas or holiday themed this might be. Because for me, at least, good job, Winston. Alright, well, my mom's still messaging me. I'm just getting fucking text messaged all the goddamn time. Okay, so... No, it is literally my ex-boss and my mother. Like, people I don't want to talk to right this second. So I would actually say that this is not all that wintry or Christmassy themed. And I'd have to say, does anyone know why? Also here, I'm just gonna do this for my own sanity. Just so it's a little bit easier to look at all in one. Yeah. Yeah. That is actually exactly right, Zanri. Hey Stitch, what's up? It doesn't need a background so much. Polar bears, no matter the time of year, are in places that are generally considered like snowy or icy. Like even in summer, there can be some freezing temperatures, like farther north. And the outfit itself doesn't allude at all to holidays or wintry. It's sort of just a school jacket and a hat. Now I did say y'all can draw whatever you want. That is true, but I did give you the theme of winter/holiday, so I'm just mentioning, I don't even know if Mindo's here, just mentioning, this doesn't fully fit that for the most part, and that's okay, just keep it in mind next time. I'm also gonna just do this real quick so it just evens it out. Wow, I got fucking whiplash there for a second. I used to go by the name Rebel, and so, whoa, that gave me some whiplash. Okay, so the second thing is I'm not gonna worry too much about making this into a winter piece. That's not my goal. My goal is to basically What do you mean that was me? Yes, that was me. I used to go by the name Rebel, and I used to have the names Idiotic Rebellion and Revelry and Sergeant Rebel and a lot of different things. I was that kid. Anyway, we're not gonna make this we're not gonna make this Christmassy, because that's not the point. I'm just trying to give you guys options for what you can do to just improve your art. And the first and foremost thing is I'm going to say, so we're gonna look up a polar bear. Because the one thing I really get frustrated by a lot of the time is that I dislike nope, it wasn't that bad. But I had a name that bad way back when. One of the few things that I get really frustrated by is basically animal same face syndrome. And it's kind of prevalent in the furry community. Well, okay. Kind of prevalent in the furry community where you can see a lot of animals with different faces of like a fox, a dog, and a cat all have like the same like face shape, and that's not really a thing that happens. If you've ever actually seen a cat's face shape, it is vastly different from a dog in most cases, whereas like a cat's face shape will be more similar to this sort of thing, where you have like the nose going down and it's really squished in all together. Whereas like a dog's face shape is more of like a muzzle. And I don't know. I just get very frustrated by same face syndrome in animals when there's references all over the world. So, okay. To make this more like a polar bear, I told you all about the short method before, but we're just gonna go straight into it. We're basically gonna bring this down some, and then go in, basically give it this shape. That's a little bit closer to what a polar bear's skull looks like. So the eyes would be like here, and nose, mouth, ears are way freaking back here. So it's a little bit more polar bear-y already. Well, yeah, I mean, like, we already agreed that, like, Barry was gonna be, like, a fucking raccoon or possum or something as, like, his persona. It's fine. Anyway. Yes, his barsona. Jesus. So, to start off with, we're already going to change up just a little bit of his face. And then why not? It's sort of a trope. Why not, if you're having a hat on an animal, have the ears poke out? It just basically adds to the more cartoony style of Max, actually stop. I'm gonna kick your ass. I know, but you're making fun of me. Okay, I have to go pit Eric. Hold on. Okay. Yep. Hmm. Good boy. Okay. So you're basically just going into the sort of, I would almost say Disney-esque style of like Robin Hood. No, you didn't. Can I have a kiss before you go at least? Can I have a kiss before you go at least? Wherever you're going. Fine, then don't. So, mostly in Robin Hood, even when they try to— No, I don't want to kiss from the cat, I want to kiss from— Yeah, okay. Stop. I want to kiss from you. Okay. There's no camera, you're fine. Oh my god. So for the most part at least, they tried to make sure that you could understand what animal it was, like even Maid Marian has her fox ears poking out of her shawl. Oh, veil. Whatever. King Louis's ears are peeking out from underneath the crown. It's basically there to make sure you know this is an animal, it's not something else. So why not just maybe have the ears stick out a little bit? Like, just as an option. You know, like, who cares? Because, for the most part, even if you turn this cap around, you could still have those holes be there. It would just be more like this sort of shape, and just a little bit further back that way, and it'd still work, in theory. Okay, so, aside from that, what else do we feel might be a little bit off about this? And I'm so sorry, I'm so out of breath today. The body, the legs. We're not gonna get into the body and legs just yet. Focus up here. We could give him an ugly Christmas sweater. We could, but like, what up here? Up here is a little bit more off. No, there's no eyes. Give you one more guess. Hey, Corvus. I have been pretty good. How are you? Oh god, oh god, hold on. I closed, oh god. So, it's actually the snowball. The snowball pretty much kind of comes across as an ice cream scoop more than anything. It's it looks like ice cream. So the question is why does it look like ice cream, right? Nice. I hope you enjoy all of your writing. Okay, so when you throw a snowball, it breaks up. Mostly. When you hit someone, it breaks up. Because it's not a solid piece. It's particles that are pretty much stuck together, and it breaks apart. So, the question is why would it be sort of goopy and melty and yeah. So, if you're wanting to throw in like a little bit of snow, why don't you just add like little bits of snow on everything for one, and just make sure that it reads as snow first and foremost. And then the second thing is that I would actually mention that it kind of feels like there's no weight to it. And that's... it's... Oh yeah, no, snow is real hard. That's why I have 1,000,002 brushes for everything I do. Yeah, snow's very hard to work with. I tend to use a whole bunch of fucking brushes that I steal from... Well, not steal, I buy from artists. I think they recently had a snow brush, so one sec. Nope. Oh. Okay, Clip, calm down. Clip's having a whole moment. Clip's having a whole freaking moment trying to load all my goddamn brushes. I'm just gonna paint this red because it's fine and I don't mind. And I'm just trying to get across the whole idea of what I'm doing. Okay, kind of looks more like a headshot, so we're gonna just move this over to the blue side real quick. It's fine. I'm just gonna move that over to the blue side real quick. So now we have this, and the question is why does it still not fully work? I mentioned it a second ago. Lack of impact. Yeah. So, if all of this together still doesn't look like it, we need to make it actually seem like he got hit. If you get hit in the face with something, you're not gonna just stand there, right? You're gonna probably, like, reel back a little bit. You're probably gonna have, like, some form of motion. Basically. Let's actually do this. Let's actually bring his head down, like it's getting knocked back. And then some of this. Because you're obviously having the line of motion go this way for the most part. And then let's get him knocked off balance a little bit. Like, oh god, I just got hit by a freaking thing. And then what if we just went ahead and took his arm out of his jacket, because naturally, at least, it is a normal reaction to want to put your hands up above your face when something is coming at your face. Nope, nope. Fuck. We now have... Let's just go ahead and do this. Draw like a hand. Like, oh god. And then maybe like a second hand like, freaking out because getting knocked back. And have more of this sort of thing going on. Like actually show that there's a bend in his knee, probably. We could probably even push it farther than this, but we're gonna try to fix everything first, and then go from there. Alright. So now we have a little bit more... Yeah, he might. A little bit, yeah. So we have a little bit more weight to it, but I would say that we could push it, like, even more, personally. I think, like, that would honestly be fine for what we're looking for. At least in my opinion, because you need to be able to be comfortable continuing to push your movements and things. Most of the time what I've seen from you guys is you think that, like, just drawing the thing even with the weight, without the weight, like, works. And it doesn't. And I keep telling you guys you need to push yourselves just a little bit more. Like, just keep pushing it until it looks wrong, basically. Whereas... Let's go ahead and save this as real quick. Yup. And then, yup. And then, let's open up this real quick. See the difference? That difference? That legitimate difference? Between this looking like he just had like an ice cream scoop kind of put on his face to like, oh, I actually got hit in the face with something. So when you're getting hit by something or something is coming towards you, your general reaction is to pull away from it in most cases, which is why in a lot of ways you'll get knocked off balance when something is coming towards you. Like if you're getting hit in the face with a dodgeball, your entire body weight is probably going to go with it for the most part. Ugh. 1 second, Max needs toilet paper. Oh, the joys of... Hi, Dan! You came back just when I sat down. Yes, you need to absolutely be more exaggerated than your first impulse is. Bye, True Diamond. Have a good DM. Dan, how are you? Thank you for the 10 whole months. That's almost a year. Whoa! Whoa! almost a whole year. We were just talking about how people need to... Oh, is that the one you just posted in the Discord, actually? Good, man. We were just talking about how people need to exaggerate more, because this kind of just looks like a polar bear got a ice cream scoop put on his face, whereas this is more like he got hit in the head with a snowball. So any questions from here? And yes, it is, try to be more exaggerated generally when, like, try to be very loose and exaggerated when you're first working on a piece, and a line of action is a very, very good thing to learn. Because with this, at least, we have this sort of thing going on, because we have all of the motion going this way. Every single thing is, except this, every single thing is moving with that line of motion. Whereas with this, he's standing. he's standing. He's standing there. Him stand. So, keep in mind your line of motion. That's something that just comes, honestly, naturally, the more and more you draw. And then, just keep trying to exaggerate more. So any questions? Any questions about this? Any questions in general about anything? Also, Dan, you are absolutely free to bring in any input you want. Is it better to go too far and readjust? Yes. Yes. Because you can pull things back more than it's possible to push them forward, basically. Like, let's say we brought this too far back, alright? That would basically mean that, like, Snowball has so much fucking weight to it, right? That we get something like this. And even that is, like, not terrible, right? That just means that that Snowball, he was caught so off guard. Dan, I swear to God. That, it basically just means that that Snowball was so off-putting and... not off-putting. It was such a surprise that he literally slipped and fell. And the only way I feel like you could potentially make it, like, too much is if you were like, oh, he's falling like that. Yeah, the snowball could also have a rock in it. Hey, Ghost, what's up? How are you? The snowball could have a rock in it, so, you know. It's just trying to make sure that, like, you know how far you can push it, and then that way you can... Yeah, it's too much if he breaks in half. The basic rule of thumb is how much force does this snowball have? And then... yeah, like, I would use that for a snowball fight. Absolutely. Because, like, ice is slippery and stuff like that. And it depends. And it's just trying to remember your line of force and how much weight your snowball has, or whatever thing you're using has, to make sure you're pushing it far enough. So you would not push this as little as we did if this was just a rock. Like, if this was just a fucking rock, I would probably be more inclined to go... like, have his spine bent, like, really, really far back to a point that he is literally going to fall over. And if, like, a giant steel beam came down and hit him in the face, I would legitimately knock him the fuck off his feet. So, like, let's say there's a giant steel beam coming this way and it fucking hits him in the face and it's like, oh no. Here, I'll use a different color, hold on. Giant fucking steel beam. Okay. Hits him in the face. I would knock him off his fucking feet. Because how heavy the thing is will depend on how far it pushes him back. And or how surprised by said thing will depend on how far you are pushed back. Because if you know something is coming, you can brace for it. You can... Hold on. Let me back up. You know something is coming, your general tendency is to plant a foot back so that you're not gonna fall over. So it's like a lot of like this sort of thing. Like, you're ready to go. Like, you know it's coming. Any questions? Also, it's probably going to be a somewhat short stream today. We only have like 3 pieces to look at. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, research the object you want to yeet at someone. Okay. Sorry, one of my favorite, patrons posted something, and it was literally just X person sucks a dick, and I'm like, yeah, okay. Okay. So, before and after. And we got before, after. Yeah, go ahead. You're allowed to ask any questions if I mentioned that you can ask questions. So. Okay, I'm gonna delete these. Oh, quick. So I want to get into Whammon's one last, actually, because Whammon has reference, and that matters a lot to what we're doing. So we'll pull up this one. Yeah. You're gonna be the big one, Wayman. What do you think of that? Oh no. What's the best way you're gonna decide to practice when you do practice? I have a tendency to draw aimlessly if I can't get myself to draw. So honestly, figure out what you want to practice. That's the best way to start. Figure out, look at your old art. Look at your old art and figure out, like, I don't like this thing I drew a week ago, and then practice it. And then the best way, in my opinion, to practice is generally the shrimp method, and I keep trying to tell you guys to do the shrimp method. Shapes is a pretty good one too. This is called the shrimp method. Really, Evie, can you move? Evie. I know. Evie. Okay, this is called the shrimp method. For the most part, it is pinned in our Discord, so you can look at it at any time. But it's a really, really good way to actually study and learn how to actually draw something. Hey, can you not? Can you not? Baby girl. Stop. Stop. Baby girl. Okay. No, you're fine. So my first question is, where's your light source? First and foremost. And that's kind of going to be the first thing you should always ask yourself when you make a piece, is where's my light source? Is it above you? Because the sky doesn't say that. Is it behind them? Because this character doesn't say that. And most of this doesn't say that. Drop seafood to get good. Yeah. Should be the sun behind the house. Yes. So if it's the sun behind the house, why is there light here? Why is there no shadow here and there's shadow here, like the sun is right here? that's basically what I'm getting at, is that you sort of wind up drawing everything and then don't really realize where your light source is. No, you're fine. That's why I'm trying to, like, explain, like, picking where your light source is your first step. Absolutely. So, if we're going to just go in and correct the light source just real quick. So it's back there. We're just going to make sure, one, all of our shadows right place. And then we can work with the rest of our light source from there. And I would actually do a hard shadow here. Like here. There. There. Good. Go. Bring this down a little bit because it did, but a little bit more into the fog of her, basically. So now we actually have, like, our light source being here. And everything is reflecting the colors from the sky, because that is what snow does. But I would more so say try to unify all your colors. Let's do this color. This. At like 5%. No. A little bit more. Okay, so now we have that, and then we do this. Let's go ahead and make this not black, because black is not a color you should shade with. Pretty much ever. Almost pretty much ever. Actually, let's go with orange, because our light source is orange. Technically. Yeah, you could. You could state that there is a lamp above her, but I would need to be able to see at least some of that lamp to make that assumption. So I would probably at least do this, like she's standing directly under the lamp, and then from there I'd be okay with you going in and being like, okay, this is her light source. Sort of thing. Make sense? Well, for the most part, I'm just doing like the very quick and dirty of like how to go about trying to help this. Basically, I'm sort of just doing the quick and dirty of everything, so don't worry too much about your tools. It's learning about your light sources and your colors and things. No, it is. Don't worry. It is. And I can explain why it is. Just give me a second. be fair, this is extremely ambitious, and I'm really proud of you for trying. Like, not everyone likes doing backgrounds, especially not in Doodle Fort. Because, like, seriously, everybody's really scared of backgrounds almost all the time, and I understand it. As someone who loves backgrounds, I promise they're not as intimidating as you think. They just take time. That's all it is. And it's just one of those things that, like, you just gotta practice, you know? Like, I'm amazed that someone did two full background pieces for Doodle Fort this year. I wouldn't say you get in over your head. I think you're ambitious, and that's okay. You're allowed to be ambitious. Yes, backgrounds. Okay, so why is the sky weird? The question someone asked. And that is because there are too many colors in it, actually. When you're looking at the sky, for example, from a side view, it's not perfectly gradiated. In most cases, the yellows and reds and pinks are like right up where the sun is. So having all these large pink swatches here are a little bit rough. If we just do like let's go with like this. What if we did more of that, so to speak? You want a really good tip, Flamin'? Trace photos. Don't post them as your own. Trace photos. I'm just saying. You can do. Trace photos. Is super freaking helpful. Let's see. I'm trying to find a good actual example of what I'm talking about. Because most people, when they draw sunsets, are like, oh, I'm gonna draw the sunset looking straight at the sun. It's like, okay, that's... doesn't help anyone who's not trying to draw that. Okay, here's one. So you have the pink of those clouds reflecting, but you can see how dark it is over here when the sun's down here. And those yellows and oranges stop right about here. Shiv, I swear to fuck. Yeah, I figured it did. Snow is extremely reflective, and that's a good thing that you notice that. That's not something that everybody notices. But for the most part, the pink stops right about here, outside of those clouds, because remember, the clouds are reflecting something other than what the color of the sky is. Okay. So, question is now... Ooh, hold on. Now, how do we make it so that the snow reflects more correctly to everything that we have? And I'm actually going to go with, just so it's a little bit easier, I'm going to go ahead and say, like, yeah, there's a light post here. And she's standing under it. Because honestly, it's a decent idea for how to sort of clean everything up. Okay, so now we're saying that this light is on, and we're also saying that it's a little bit darker than what we have set up. And that's okay. That's fixable. Oh, no. Now we have more of this, which is a little bit easier to sort of mess with collectively. Because you are dealing with at least 3 light sources here, so it's a little bit rough, but it is doable. Okay. So at this point, we have, remember, if you zoom out a whole bunch, and you can kind of get the general idea of, yes, she also has a purpose for being there. You have the general idea of what is the mood for this, just from your thumbnail. I would actually probably bring her out more, but I think it's fine for what we're doing. That's a whole different conversation to be having. It's fine. I think she should actually be, like, here, but we're not going to worry about that. At least not right now. So I would mention that aside from your cast shadows that you need to keep in mind, which is, a cast shadow is pretty much something casting a shadow. It basically means light here, shadow here. And in most cases you'll see things like a cast shadow here, because it is casting light from the top, right? You need to remember those sorts of shadows and things. So, yeah, I can see that. Have you considered attempting, instead of doing opposites right away, because opposites can be pretty difficult to sort of deal with at first. Have you ever considered trying to maybe... come on, there we go. Do single colors, at least? Like, basically doing all warm colors or all cool colors in the general idea, and you can still have her be cool colored. We have this whole overlay on her where she's like slightly warmer toned, like in the shadows and things, but she still has a blue jacket very obviously, and like the white clothes and everything. I'm basically saying, like, try to keep to, while learning backgrounds at least, try to keep to a lot of the basics at first while learning, and you'll get a lot further than you think you will. I know it's boring, I know it sucks, but like, learning lighting is probably the one thing that's going to change your art. And it sucks to have to learn, but like, it is something that everybody does. It's something that I did for a long time, and I thought I knew, and joke's on me, I didn't know fucking anything. Sorry, I'm just like touching this up a little bit by little bit, and like, I hope you're sort of getting the idea of what I'm trying. No, yeah. It... high school's good for a lot of things. Actually teaching you art in most cases, not so much. But the only way you're gonna learn is by making mistakes. And it's okay to make mistakes. You can make as many mistakes as you want and need. Making mistakes is how you learn. It's what you wind up doing with those mistakes that matters. Now I am putting in a little bit of the road here, or at least a little bit more of the road here, because you have this perspective where everything is going this way, but the road seems to be here more so than it should be. So I'm just kind of bringing in the road a little bit and following that curve that you have. You also actually have a focal point without even realizing it. So when you're looking at a piece, your eyes tend to fall on things pointing to one another, so to speak. And these lines actually are bringing you towards this character. Though you don't really need them, I think it's fine without it. I think you wound up learning something that you didn't even think you needed to learn. Yeah, they did. That's fair, Pumpkin. It is very rare that I think you're going to find someone with, like, an actual teacher that was decent for art. Like, I only had, like, 2, maybe. If that. And it was just... lot. Alright. So, one other thing. Notice how this house is pointing at this side. Why don't we go ahead and get in there and just reflect a little bit more of that light onto the house. Because it's still catching that light. The light source is from this way. So it is catching that light, absolutely. With the tree. Okay. Alright, so from this point, any questions? Also, since we are making it a little bit darker, I might just go in and just... Nope, hold on. Okay, and then make this light source that is reflecting off of this. Get a little bit of specular distortion in there. That's how it works. And we have a more solid piece now. The person good, like anatomy-wise? Give me a sec. Yeah, I think they're alright. Be careful of your eyes. Because I think you sort of tilted the eye up without realizing you were. Because it's not your eye that moves, it's your pupil, right? So it would be to the effect of... Let me fix it. Hold on, let me fix it. Oh god. Click. Be more to the effect of that. than what it was, at least. Yeah, the forehead's a little far forward. You see what I mean? Where you rotated the entire eye compared to having the eye be where it's supposed to be and then just moving your pupil up. Okay. And then I wasn't gonna mention the forehead because even I have trouble with foreheads, but you need to remember that there's the forehead, there's the brow bone, and then it tends to go down in the nose. I really suck at side views, so bear with me. Reason I don't draw side views, chat. But now you have a little bit more of that forehead, and I might as well just pull up a reference for you guys. Ah, I see. Going on. Best. Ta-da. I think the jaw might be a little bit strong as well. So, hold on. I'm waiting for Portrait Studio to open. Apologies. I just realized that someone pledged $5 via Patreon, and Silver if you're here. So. We have about that sort of thing. So there is that brow bone there that you do need. It's still a little bit far out, I will say. But that's because of my own incompetence, and it's fine. It also very much so depends on what type of character you're drawing. Pumpkin for gifting that one sub to Jay Watcher. I'm gonna do that, thank you. It's pretty much just keeping in mind that there is a forehead for the most part. So a good rule of thumb is at any angle, no matter what, it should look the same. It should look right, basically. So even if I have this character's head entirely upside down, that mouth and stuff should still look like a mouth, basically. If you're drawing a hand that's rotated 180 degrees, it should still look right when you look at it from forward facing. So I would actually say that maybe this up a little bit. And we can go in and actually jaw shape there. Da, da, da. I'm just getting rid of that hair so it's a little bit easier on me. So now it's a little bit less masculine looking. Again, not great at side views. You just got the point of flipping the canvas? Yep. Speaking of. So, one other thing. Got a little tiny mouth. Oh, she's got a very little tiny mouth. And because she's not really pursing her lips at all, the expression really isn't there. And it just kind of falls flat. You should always flip. So, you're gonna notice these eyes line up with the sides of your mouth. So if that's the case, this needs to be just a little bit longer. And then we're also going to go ahead and just bring it a little bit more of a solid shape to everything here. Rotate this slightly. Don't worry too much about like fix everything in the background. Don't worry about that. Fine. And we can go in. Nose bridge down a little bit. And down. This goes a little bit longer because another thing, if you'll notice, is that the top of the ear will basically line up with your brow bone, and that's why glasses work. And then the bottom of the ear will basically be about here-ish. Now that we have this line and this line, we're a little bit more solid in the case of anatomy. So, I'm just checking a few more things. Find me. I think that's enough for now. So I would, personally at least, move her eyes a little bit more down in the back. And push them in some. Oh. Because remember, you're rotating the thing in a 3D space, right? It's not just the same shape, but from the side. It is literally being rotated in a 3D space. You need to account for that, right? God, I'm fucking so much. It's important to remember. Important to remember that things squash and stretch when they're moving around. So, for example, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in on this eye real quick. See how it's really small, actually? It's like actually fairly small. But this point literally is the same point as it is here. It's just slowly squishing and overlapping into things. Everyone's out of practice with anatomy. It's okay. But you can see that the little area right here gets tucked in behind this pupil because it's not just a flat object. Your eye isn't just a flat object. It's a sphere inside your skull. So you're now not seeing the other side of that, and you're only seeing half of it. That make sense? Okay, any questions? Once you see the squish, you don't not see the squish. You always see the squish, I guess, is the better way to word that. You're fine. We mentioned, weight distribution, lines of action, and pushing your expressions and things, Mindo, when we looked at yours. Anatomy's hard. It's always going to be hard. Every single time you do it. Absolutely every single time you do it, it's going to be hard. I have trouble with anatomy. All the fucking time. I mean, yeah, that's fair. We also sort of smacked your polar bear in the face with a steel beam at one point. That was a thing. So any questions, you guys? Any questions about this or in general? I've been thinking about changing all my alerts to just Animal Crossing noises because they're really cute, and I don't know if the phone makes as much sense as it used to. Thank you, Xanry, for that tier 1 for 3 whole months. Xanry? That's almost a year! Wow. Amazing. I'm never gonna let that joke die unless someone makes me. No, it's not too late. I think I got that joke from Dan. Yeah, the hello moto is like really up there too. But like, I don't know. Because, hold on, I'll just switch over. Because, for me at least, on my overlay, all my alerts are on my phone.
This is a test.
All my alerts are on my phone, so when, like, if I get a donation or something, it's a text message.
This
like,
is
hey,
a test donation for $18.
You got a donation. Like, here's your phone call. I don't know. I'm just thinking about it. I always think about that sort of shit, though. Okay, I thought that said something. Never mind. I mean, that's fine. It's fine. So I'm gonna grab the before and after real quick. This one's kind of easy because we did not change much in the canvas size. I would say careful of how you put snow on these. It looks a little bit heavy-handed, but I think trying to do that in the first place was a good job. Because I don't think you really understood what it needed, but you tried anyway, and that's fucking commendable as shit. So. Okay. So before, very bright. Before, after. Before, and after. You can see the difference in the face too now. Yeah, it's me. How are you, Kirika? This has... I think it has a mood that you were trying to go for, and I think we tried to grasp it. I don't know if we did specifically. I know lighting is one of the few things that I freaking love doing, so... yeah. So, few changes. We made a light post behind her. It was a little bit easier to grasp her lighting compared to the sunset. We made sure all of the snow absolutely reflected the sunset, as well as bringing the gradient down here instead of all the way across. Yes. So I would actually disagree that this is a later time of day. Because if this sun is here in both pieces, which it is for the most part, is just everything's sort of bathed in that sort of pink light. Yeah, no, that's absolutely understandable. A lot of people have problems with lighting and shading. It's just something you gotta practice. And if you ever want help with it, like, why Doodle Fort's here? Oh, okay. It is A-okay. Does that make sense as to why I say that's the same time of day? there's reasons why you would probably think that. Okay. Because I would say that this is a low sunset that we were given, because the orange is all the way down here, right? And so because of that, everything seems to get bathed in like very little light for the most part, even though you don't sort of realize it. A lot of these are photoshopped. But things are a lot darker than you might think at low sunset. So if you're that new to art, Ro, I would just say try to figure out the brushes and things you're comfortable with, so to speak. Yeah, I like the trees too. I think they could have used more depth, but like that's its own beast of a thing. You're fine, Jay Watcher. Wow, I can't believe Barry hasn't changed out his Christmas emotes yet. Wow. I'll probably do it tomorrow. But it's just trying to figure out what brush you're comfortable with. Like, try to figure out a sketching brush, and then trying to figure out like maybe a line art brush if that's what the thing you want to do, or try to find a painting brush sort of thing, and just going from there. If you have, let me know if Sketchbook Pro has a multiply layer option. And I can probably give you a small hint for helping with. No, I mean that's fair, Sabs. At that point, like, fuck it.
You think you can tutor art on the internet for free? Boom, think again, money inbound.
Hey Mendo, there's $15. You don't gotta pay me. You pay me on Monday. Monday's fine. Fine. Anyway. One sec. I need to take pills so I don't die. Man, I was cutting it close there. I was almost dead. And then I took my pills and we're good. Yeah, take your pills if you haven't done that yet, chat. Okay, so if there's no more questions, right? Listen, you can, but I'm not gonna be okay with it. Any questions before we go to the last one? Last two. I mean, that's fair. I have a bunch of pills that make me real sleepy and it's real fun. What's my favorite color? Salmon. Like, that-ish color. Oh no, that's a little bit too fun. Nope. Like that. That-ish. No, that's actually a really good way to color, honestly. Because if you're focused primarily on the shading, first and foremost, then you understand where your lighting is and things like that. One sec. If you're only worried about this, and then you go in and you add your lighting from there, that's actually a way that a lot of professional fucking painters work. Because then at that point, it makes more sense. I would say, why don't you play with using more than one color for a shade? So like, let's say you did like purple shadows, like a yellowish light source, so to speak. That's a little bit more interesting to look at than just having it be one solid color. Because you shouldn't be shading with black, right? But if you're putting it on an overlay, all you're doing is going up and down the gradient level. Whereas with this, you're going into the purples, reds, and yellows of things. Yeah. I appreciate that this chick is trying. Oh. That's fair. She originally, I believe, was actually wearing blue. Yeah, she was wearing like a blue color. But we basically overlaid it with a little bit of pink. So now it's like blue-purple. No, you're fine. That's what I was saying. Like, if you work in a certain way, I can help you make that way easier to deal with. God, why is Dan's good? Okay, anyway. Real quick. Hey, Jay Watcher. I know you brushed a little bit. And a little obvious. But we're gonna work with it. So, if you're going to make things look like they're made of crayon, that's okay. Push it further than you did. Okay? I feel like the main thing with you guys is legitimately always just keep pushing it. And pushing it. And pushing it. Right? No, we'll get back to it, don't worry. We'll add the snowflakes back in. Don't worry. Give me a second. But I'm saying if you're going to draw something very, very simple, you need to make sure that it reads as such, right? So, when working with like a coloring book, for like a kid's coloring book, I'm trying to find the right brush first. That'll work. When working for like a kid's coloring book, you still need to keep in mind that you still have, at least for the most part, what else would this read as? What do you mean? I'm just using this as an example to explain, like, how to work in a very simplified style. It still reads as a snowman, like, it's still a snowman. But what I'm getting at is that you should try to be a little bit less soft about what you're drawing, even if the thing you're drawing is soft, and let your brushes do the talking. Listen, I say a lot of things that I don't remember. Fine. So now we have like these very obvious sort of stick shapes. This brush is kind of annoying to work with because you have to press real hard in, but make it work. Okay. So we still need to be able to see everything about the snowman as he is, right? A child still needs to be able to look at something and be like, oh, I absolutely understand what this is from moment one, so to speak. And it needs to be sort of capturing and engaging. And one of the problems that I'm having is that this snow color is about the same as this fur color, which makes it a little bit hard to sort of recognize the difference. Okay. And no, not all children's coloring books are, very, like, brush heavy and things like that. They also have very varying styles for the most part, and it, like, multiple different options, basically. But, for this sort of thing, we're going to go ahead and just say that that's what we're doing. You can still have shading lines and things in sort of a cel-shaded kind of style. Like, I would say it was cel-shaded, it's not really, like, a blended shaded feeling. And it can still come across as what you're trying to do. Now, if there was, like, let's say, like, some paint on something, I would say just being like, works, instead of trying to be, like, more solid in all of your pieces. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, not coloring book. I'm so sorry. I am absolutely brain dead today, I guess. Like, a children's picture book. Man, I guess the holidays just took it right the fuck out of me. Okay. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of a light source just to the fur. Just so that it is very obviously, like, kind of fluffy and nice and things like that. Okay. I would say that's decently better. At least for, like, being able to fully read that it's a snowman. Whereas you could read that it's a snowman, like, you did understand that. It was just kind of muddied up by all of the snow and stuff that was above it. And then let's say we want to make it actually snow. I'm just going over very gently. That was a little bit too much. With this texture brush that I have, we'll bring down the opacity. It's fine. And then we have a little bit more of a snow. It doesn't need to be dramatic to read a snow, you know? It is there. Like, you can tell that it is there. Alright, Automod. Calm down. I would actually also maybe say we could bring in a little bit of... Ooh, maybe not that much. Like a gradient, maybe? Just to the sky, just a little bit, just for a little bit of interest, so to speak. Because if it's snowing, it's overcast, right? Actually, I would absolutely suggest Pokemon Art Academy too. It is fantastic. So for me, my Clip Studio brushes, I believe these were all the watercolor, not these. These are all my watercolor brushes. And I could probably find them on the Clip Studio Paint store. But it's just finding something that has, like, a good texture to it. Thank you, Hertz. Have a good night. And I hope you also get to stay somewhere cozy. Also, hi, bye. So I would actually say, like, any brush that really brings in texture is, like, a good go-to. It doesn't really matter what you're using, as long as what you're trying to convey is there, so to speak. So for me at least. Okay. For me at least, I had trouble seeing what this was. Like, I know it's a snowman, the very obvious, like, black coal eyes and buttons and hat. Like, I mean, you can. It has a free trial and it goes on sale constantly to a point of being like $20 when it's normally like $80, and it's a one-time payment thing compared to Adobe, which is shit. But you know. But it was a little bit hard for me to sort of feel what was going on. Whereas like with this, you kind of still get it. I don't think the snow is there enough. That's fine. And then I would maybe even go in and do like just, you know, you don't need a whole lot. Kind of. Like a couple. I don't think you need a whole lot of them, honestly. Comparatively to, whereas this is a little bit harder to read, you have like the very obvious shape of him still there, while you still have like that sort of squiggly outline of like a soft sort of charcoal or crayon brush. And at least for like that children book style of features would be more fuzzy too. Yeah, they could be if you wanted them to. I think I like the idea that the stick and these stones and things aren't super fuzzy because they're solid things, right? Whereas snow is very, it's basically a bunch of crystals all packed into one thing, right? So you're gonna have like not perfect edges as much as you think like you've smoothed it out. It's not perfect. Whereas coal would have like very obvious like flat edges and things to it, and it's not nearly as soft, so you sort of have like that more concentrated idea of like, this is a hard stick, this is soft snow, this is soft fluffy fur, this is maybe a more solid like hat, but it's still maybe a little bit soft. If it's super smooth, it reads as ice, yeah. So comparatively. Also, I would say be careful of all of your tones being like about the same range. Don't be afraid to go into like darker tones even if you don't think that's going to really work, because we now have this tone versus this one, which is what you originally had used, but because there's the darker sky and it has this sort of line between the white and the blue that are very close together, it basically makes everything pop and is like, okay, well, the line obviously ends about here. You don't have to go like all the fucking way like down here to make your colors or whatever, but just try to be more aware, I guess would be a good word, aware of the shapes that you're making. Because while this was extremely fuzzy and like very soft and everything, and like you could very easily see the sticks, you sort of lost it like on this edge sort of thing, which is why I went in and made sure that that shadow is like very obvious. So, any questions before we get to the last one? Also, as a general reminder, I'm not the only one that, you know, yeah, snow can be dark. Snow can absolutely be dark. It literally just depends on what's under it, because you gotta remember, snow is literally just a whole bunch of ice packed on top of one another. And when it's in shadow, even on the brightest day, that's fairly dark, you know? Don't be super afraid of, like, using different shades and colors. Yeah. If it's not light, if there's no light, it's no white. Also, yeah, like, at night is... at night is a totally different situation as well. And then, like, depending on if there's, like, grass and stuff poking up through the snow, it could dramatically change what the snow looks like for the most part. And what's underneath it. So... depends on how much snow is on the ground, mostly. If you have enough snow to make a snowman, I think it's fine. I think this is fine as it is. If he's just there magically, even though there's not enough snow on the ground, like, yeah, sure. Oh, yeah, city roads are terrible. Oh yeah, no. People legitimately have sunglasses for just driving in because it's so... Yeah, there could be. Potentially. So, like, if we were gonna entertain that idea, let's say. So again, I'm still using blue. I just want to point that out, that I'm still using blue. I'm not super worried about, like, making sure that the green is poking out. I'm still using, like, blue colors. But it makes it seem like there's something underneath there. You also could state that that's also maybe, like, I don't know, fucking shadow, honestly, and I don't think anyone would argue with you. So, really just depends. It kind of looks more like he did a sick drift. Kind of looks a little bit more like that, if I'm honest. Amazing. Snowy. Yes. Okay, so any questions? Yes. Shout out to the fucking chill hop station for being sign-upable and free. Oh yeah, man. And not claimable because I signed up for them and they're like, all right, I guess we're not gonna claim you. Cool. All right. Now let's bring out the big boy. Hey, Whammin', you still here? Yeah, you're still here. Fuck the MCA. So.
Hello, Moto.
Hi, Darkbolt. Came just in time for the last one. Wait, add sunglasses? You can add sunglasses. It's fine. Hi, Dark. How was your stream? Welcome to the last bit of Doodle Fort. We're almost done. So, a couple of things. Right. I'm doing drawing, hanging out with people. Nice. No, you're fine. Even if, honestly, even if you did this in under a day, I don't care. I'm still going to be able to pick out things like lighting or perspective or otherwise from a piece. How long you took on it doesn't matter. I'm still able to teach with it, you know? So, anything I bring up is not gonna be like, wow, I can't believe you did this. And instead, it's a little bit more, just keep it in mind for the future. Good night, Lizard. I'll see you again on Monday, maybe. So, first and foremost, I'd like to mention, fuck yeah, fucking love possums. Second off, what time of day is this supposed to be, is my first question. And it's kind of interesting because I'm realizing a few of you don't have full grasp of, like, time of day. What time of... a monthly box that sends you some herbs that you put in your food. Someone make that. No, you're fine. You were absolutely fine. An overcast day? So it's the middle of the day. Okay, so if it's an overcast day, why are the lights glowing so much? Would be my first question. They can... No, Max, there's no radiation in Christmas lights. They can glow, but the amount of glow that they're giving off make it feel like it's in a dark room, so to speak. The more and more glow you add to something, the darker the ambient, like, room around you would have to be, right? For you to be able to see this light from that far away, that would have to be a really dark room, right? Whereas, I think if you just tone these down just a little bit, I think that would be fine. I don't think you super need as much glow as you have. Because it really hasn't earned, like, as much lighting as you've given it. Okay. So you see how those are still glowing, but, like, not nearly as hard as those? Listen, as someone who wakes up at, like, 3 p.m., it's fine. Yeah, it does. There are light colors that don't strike you as well as others, but for the most part, these are so tiny and far away that you wouldn't really notice it as much. Yeah, when you think of something like glowing, you automatically are like, yeah, like that just has like tons of light on it, right? Like, so it's gotta glow. And that way you would see it, because that's the only way you know it's lit up, right? Whereas, like, you know when a lamp is on in a bright room, right? Like, if you light a candle in a room, might not be the brightest thing in that room if you have another light on, but you know it's on, you know? So if we just tone those down just a little bit, I might even just go over them with that, tone them down slightly, and you have those little peeping out colors of light. You know they're on, but you don't fully need them on to know that. You don't need this to be dark as fuck day, etc. Okay, so I would say this is an overcast day already. So my question is, if it's already an overcast day, why is there so much light being caught on these, so to speak? And don't be afraid to just literally copy the lighting reference from your reference. And then if it doesn't look right, go back in and try to understand why. Because all of your lighting, if it's overcast, is coming from here and here and here. Like, it's all just reflecting very neutrally, so to speak. So don't be too afraid of just making this outside wing darker if it needs it. Hi, Hina. What's up? Came to the last part of the Doodle Fort. You also seem to have a cast shadow here that I'm not 100% about. Not fully 100% on. Right? But because there's going to be reflective light, we can do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And then... Ooh, no, wait. There you go. It goes good. We're finishing up Doodle Fort, and everybody's like, oh god, I forgot. And it's fine. So, I think that's all fine. The only other thing I would actually sort of mention is be kind of careful of your perspectives. I've said before that perspective isn't the most important thing. As long as the idea is there, like, you're gonna get the idea across, basically. Okay. Let's go ahead and just pick this color. So, because you drew from this, I'm gonna use those as our main perspective line. So, that means that your perspective is about here. Here. That's an interesting perspective. We'll give you that. But let's just go with this, alright? Let's say that this is our horizon line. Whereas I would probably lower this one to about here, if anything. If that's the case, that seesaw would be more to that style. No, you're good. I'm happy to explain perspectives. So that would make that seesaw to about that perspective, which is a little weird. So if we were going to change it up a little bit, and let's say that the perspective is more so here. No, not even. Let's say it's like up here. Alright. Because in this you have here, here, here. Okay, so now we have that. That sort of shape. It also gives us this. And this. That line. And we'll go ahead and go. A little bit of an angle, but it's okay. I'm okay with that. Because it's now a little bit more solid. what it's trying to show, at least. Okay. So, the general idea of how to do perspective lines is you have your horizon line, okay? And then your perspective point is basically where your vanishing point is, where everything sort of layers on top of one another. And then anywhere within this area is going to be a straight line. And that straight line is your corner. And then you basically just connect things up. And every corner is a straight line. And there you go. You have a box. Woohoo. With 1, 2, 3 sides. That's basically how you do perspective. At least 2-point perspective. 1-point perspective is the vanishing point is here. And then 3-point perspective is all of the above. And 3-point perspective hurts my brain. So don't worry about that just yet. So, you don't need things to be in perspective, but it helps. It helps a good amount. Everything in perspective is literally just put into a box, and then from there, you sort of figure out, like, okay, well, now I'm gonna draw a car, and now this car is in perspective, right? Because I know that this car is following, like, this line, that car is now in perspective, because it fits within the confines of that box, on the XYZ. In which case do I need 2-point perspective? Depends. Well, they mean, like, is there a specific time and place? And not always. A lot of the times people use them for architecture and stuff. It really just depends on what you're drawing, for the most part. This was always a project I was given in high school, where you were supposed to draw 2 points and then draw a city that was interesting in some way. So. Enchilada plate. Cheese. Yeah. With beans and extra tortillas. It's the plate, so, because we're trying to eat them less. Anyway, 1-point perspective would be like you're looking down a road or you're looking up into the sky. It's just situational. It depends on where you are in comparison to the horizon line, so to speak. And then 3-point perspective, the fun one, is that sort of shit. Real good. It's great. It's so fun. It's real hard. I have so much trouble with it. Oh my god. I swear to god. Yeah, okay, fine. 5-point perspective. It's a sphere. No, it's a sphere. That's 5 points perspective. Yeah, the fisheye. Fisheye? No. Because fisheye is the point of perspective in the middle and then all 4 corners. So, anyway, you get the idea. It depends on what you're wanting to draw and just figuring out, like, if you're using 1-point perspective or if you're using 2-point or if you're using 3-point. I would say for now, if you're still trying to figure out perspective, stick to 1 and 2. You'll get a hang of it, I promise. It's a lot easier than you think it is. I'm trying to make perspective easy. I promise I'm trying to make perspective easy. The easiest way I've found to sketch out perspective is to make your square very, very small and check where your perspective points are, and then draw over everything and sketch over everything. No, it'd be 1-point perspective, because 0-point perspective is just a dot.
You're a bug.
Yes, you're a bug. And have a million eyes, yeah. Okay. So, any questions? at all. And oh, don't worry. At some point in the future, I'm going to make you guys practice perspective. Not today, unless you want it. But it'll happen one day. No, it's gotta happen.
Right.
You think they're busy, or is it? Huh. Well. That's interesting. Anyway. Any questions from anyone at all? I would say, by the way, careful with your references, because, well, very cute. His head seems to be at a different angle. This eye is tucked in a little bit. And this hand is down here. I think the idea is cute, but if you're actually trying to draw from reference, just be careful with it. You should be both terrified and excited. Backgrounds are my shit. Also, that talk about perspective is literally why I kept this piece to the end. Because it's the one thing I wanted to talk about with it. Okay. Any general questions at all? Huh. That's interesting. How was my day? It's a day. I got myself a VR chat avatar and I'm just hanging out. Where are my keys? I don't know. You should whistle for them and maybe they'll come. There you go.
Oh shit, I found your key.
Oh shit, Max found your keys.
What do I do with them?
Bribe Mindo to, or blackmail.
Say, I'm not bribing someone with their key.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I can bring her back up. Because I finished her ref a while ago. Or last night, I guess.
You roughed her up?
Yeah. There you go. There she is. There is my baby girl that I've had for 12 fucking years at this point. She's everything to me. Anyway. Quick, throw them out the window. Gotcha. Yeah, they'll find their way home. Is there any milk in the fridge? All we have is oat milk. I'm sorry. All we have. Okay, let's pick a date. So I, as you guys probably know, might be moving in the next couple of months. Yeah, this is exactly what I look like. Exactly. I'm not just some dark-haired white girl. That's, yeah, no. This is exactly what I look like and not at all a character I made 12 years ago. God fucking fuck. Hate the show desktop button. Anyway. Oh right, you're white, yeah. So, why don't we meet back up on the 13th? And if something comes up with us moving or anything like that, I'll let you guys know, of course. And we'll reschedule and we'll figure it out. And that's gonna hold true probably until about April. So. Good teacher, maybe possibly I prefer the term tutor. Anyway. Yeah, the 13th. Yeah, don't worry about it. You heard me. Don't worry about it. Let's go ahead and open up Ace Blop Hole. Yeah, we're getting there. What do you guys want to do? Oh yeah, it is the day before Valentine's, isn't it? I guess that works out because that means I have Valentine's to not stream. Even though I probably wouldn't stream on Valentine's anyway. What do y'all want to do? Reminder, you guys can pick whatever the fuck you want for Doodle Fort. February. Yep. I've started to just give you guys a full month because I like giving y'all more time anyway, so I'm not even sure what that would entail. I like giving you guys a month anyway because it gives you more time to draw full pieces if that's what you're willing to do. And it gives you more time to practice. Ooh. Yandere. Give me one more. Just anything. Doesn't have to be about love, doesn't have to be about Valentine's, just anything. Shout, now. I said not Cupid. God damn it. Swear to God. Flowers, done. Alright. Remember, you can pick multiple choices about what you want. And best one wins. Ready, set, go. Hold on, I'm rechecking fucking text messages and things. Eh. Okay. What would that be? Huh. That'd actually be interesting. I'm Ace horny on main for so much effort. Yeah, no. Fair. To be fair, one of those things is very... Yeah, no, if you can make sure that I see what it is in a clear way, I don't give a fuck how you do it. You can do watercolors, you can do digital art, you could sculpt something for all I care. Just give me something. We can do horny on main, but it would be very specific to Twitch TOS, and it would basically be like sexy character designing. And that means if you're asexual, for example, what's sexy for you? You know? You gotta make anything sexy, right? Yeah, the implication of this is sexy. Hello, mother, please step upon me. Okay, I'm gonna refresh this one more time. Huh. You know, that is not what I thought would win. Get in your votes. If anyone hasn't voted, do it now. You got another minute. I'm actually surprised 2 of these didn't get higher, but fine. I mean, maybe to you, sexy is just someone bringing you a giant plate of nachos. Who knows? Do whatever you want it to be. Yeah, chocolate can be sexy. Oh, by the way, thanks, Moobot. I just want to mention that my commissions are open again. But they are set up in a different way. You should be able to figure it out, I believe. I trust all of you to be smart enough to figure it out. It's I might not take every request given to me, but you can fill out a request for a commission, and then I will tell you if I will work on it or not. So. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I took forever to figure out that I was NB, so, you know, there. Yeah, sexy is absolute. Or a giant plate of nachos. Okay, I guess we're doing flowers. Which is not something I thought I would actually say. But I guess y'all want to learn flowers. Flowers are fucking hard. I'm gonna say that right now. Flowers are fucking hard. But we'll do that on the 13th. And I'll write up a prompt on tonight, probably in a few minutes. I'll write up a prompt, and it'll be in Doodle Fort, as per usual. I probably am gonna get you guys to study a few flowers. And, like, how to color flowers and things like that. Because a lot of people are just like, I'm just gonna draw any leaves. Whatever. Yes, anthropomorphic flowers would be fine. If it's within the flower theme, it's okay. If you're studying flowers, it's fine. Yeah. I'll make note of that. Okay, so this is part of the stream where I talk about myself, and if you're not into that sort of thing, feel free to go. It's okay. I understand. I don't like ads either, but like, this is what I do, so I gotta talk about myself. Okay, so I do titties. I draw titties. Whole bunch of titties. A lot of titties. And butts and bagoos and things like that. And I put them on my Patreon twice a month. I'm trying to do more, but I'm currently just stressed the fuck out and trying to juggle everything. So twice a month, and currently this year we're doing animated things. We're doing animations. We're doing lovely animations of images. And if you want to see some titties or things going in and out of holes, like, I should make that. Patreon should really be an alias to Patreon. That's a thing for $5 a month. That absolutely helps and supports me, and I'm grateful for every single one of you who has helped me this last year. And so on and so forth. One sec. Yes, they do. Sorry, I had to look up what it was. Yes, that counts as a flower. I stream every... Yeah, it's done. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, with Doodle Fort being on the dates that they are required. I stream at about 6 p.m. Central, except when it's Doodle Fort, and that's about 5 p.m. Central. Just so that I can make sure everybody gets in on time. I have a VOD channel, if that's what you're kind of interested in. I'm just saying, it's alright. You don't have to subscribe to it, but it's there if you miss anything, and I upload Doodle Fort there too. So, if you miss anything or you want to look back and the VODs are dead, then it should be VODs. There it is. That's your sort of jam, feel free. Yeah. Yes! Also, I'm taking commissions currently, if that's your jam as well. Also, I have a podcast with my friends. One's about anime, one's about horror movies, and one's about Doctor Who. Yes, baby girl. Here, let's switch over to my... nope. Nope. Let's switch to... Oh my god, I'm trying to put your camera up. Let's switch to this. Yeah. So, I have commissions, I have a podcast. All of it is free to listen to, if that's your jam. So, yes! All of it is absolutely free to listen to if that's your jam. And... if that's your jam, and it's on Patreon, SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, and iTunes, I want to say. So there's that. iTunes. Yeah, those come out once a week, although we skipped a week for Oh my god. We skipped a week for Christmas and stuff just because stress is super fun. Yeah. Is there anything I am missing? Discord, I guess. Discord has Doodle Fort and just general updates. Hi, baby girl. Oh my god. General updates for... Can you stop for 2 seconds? You are worse than Willa. The Pokemon Center, Jackie. Anyway. What about it? Just any piercings aren't terrible, so. So, okay. Zan, hold on, I should explain. TV. Okay. So, this is my commission. Price page. It is only here to tell you the price of things. Otherwise, you'd have to submit $1 million billion to get a commission through here. Currently, what I'm actually doing, you click this, and you go to basic commission quotes. And has all the information you'll need. Just because you send me a request does not mean I'll accept it. What you're looking to get, is it a rush order, etc, etc. And that's how I'm currently taking commissions now. Oh, this is just one cat. My other old man, my 9-year-old who's lost weight, is a lot more bratty. There is somewhere, Jay Watcher. There is. Okay. So. MrYourFace.com. And you click this. And that takes you to basic commission quote. The link to my prices is both here and on this side, which is clickable. And on my landing page, wingets are still open, and I will take as many wingets as I want. These aren't requested by anyone. They're just Evie, move. Stop your stream. Yeah, no worries. Wingets basically mean I have creative sway over the commission. You don't really get to choose what's happening. You just basically give me like a theme and I'll go with it. And full illustration work is still $20 an hour. So, yeah. So, I will see you guys on Monday. And on Monday, we are doing a modded Stardew with all of my friends. Daddy and Spooky and probably Bath and maybe Barry. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Yeah, so I'll see you guys on Monday. Who is streaming right now? Yes, I know, Moobao. Thank you. Tom is streaming. Well, I'm not probably gonna be part of the draw pile, so. Yeah, of course. Ooh, Tom is shiny hunting. Oh, it's already Tom. Tom is shiny hunting and swoosh for Amaras. Heck, Tom, say hi to K-Mac. But Tom has the least amount of viewers. And so I like rating people with the least amount of viewers. Also, GDQ starts tomorrow. So, I'll probably still be streaming through GDQ. It'll be fine. Yes, because I know some people don't like watching GDQ all the time, constantly. So, you know. Anyway. Yeah, apparently. I know GDQ was this week, I just didn't realize it started tomorrow. And then Monday as well, I'm having an internet guy come over and like try to help fix our internet because apparently we have really shit internet. And yeah, it's great. That's fair, Kit Kat. So hopefully we'll have faster internet on Monday, so that's fun. And then hopefully, because of that, I should be able to do more VR streams, which is why I may have gotten this VR chat avatar. And we're able to transfer our internet to the new place we're moving because it's going to be an area. So yeah, I will see you guys on Monday, and I need some time to think about what usually leads you to close commissions. Basically, if I'm busy as shit or if it's Christmas. That's it. Honestly, I rarely close commissions, so y'all go give Tom some Mista 5. Well, no, not everybody has Mista 5 love. Y'all go give Tom a Mista 5 Angie or a Mista 5K. Get the fuck out of here. Say hi to Tom.